going up? What's going up? What's going on?
What's going up?
My blood pressure.
Right.
Michael, Steve, Dave, IRP 251. Probably have a crowd of 3, unless you're watching
3.5.
the sound in the background as you're watching any number of games tonight. So
Speak for yourself.
I see the title should be Card Shop, but Card Shop, Card Show. Either way, we'll discuss a little of that because Team Comedian and his cry fest of he's not going to start up a card shop, and seeing a lot of other people and what they think. Again, we know Ryan's shop. Brian, that's sort of the template I like to use and think about. As just for, and again, not Michael's been to the new shop or the newest iteration on Mexico Boulevard or whatever.
We've surpassed our expected view count already.
Double it up.
Just thought I'd throw that out there. Sorry, Michael, didn't mean to interrupt you, but I had to call it out.
No, I was just saying I went to all 3 of their locations.
Yeah, and this whenever I get down to the other one, that'll be knock the 3 off the list too. So,
and then
again, I guess, and the one thing he talked about that I don't see at like a card collector too. I think he has a nice location. It seems to be a high traffic location when you start seeing some of these videos, and like there's like almost like the 3 rivers. There's like a confluence of like intersections, but it's an odd setup where it's not like like 4 corners. It's like this, and something comes like diagonally in there, and then he's sort of there, and it. Looking at it again, never been to it. I don't think I'll ever go there because I mean, going to the National in Ohio or in Cleveland, that was enough. So, how's it going? That I don't think I want to go to like Columbus. I mean, I'm not an Ohio State guy, unless Brad's like, hey, let's all get the gang together for a Blue Jackets game. I mean, that's about the only reason I'm going to go to Columbus. So, just seeing that and like, okay, that would be the one thing, and it seems to be small inside. When you have your like trade nights or whatever things going on, it's outside, and again, that's weather conducive. And I'd rather have something that's stable over my head with collectibles that are being traded, sold, bought at the price that they're being all those things at, instead of a few like park tents or antique tent setups that it just whereas as much as some of that stuff might be great, I don't know. And that's where I like where Ryan's got his stuff. I don't like the sports card headquarters. That's just too, I won't say futuristic, but it's just too much.
It's too corporate and sanitized.
Yeah. You're it's almost like an AI version of a card show or card shop. I mean, it's just like I want something where I look in a corner, and again, this isn't probably even at Ryan's, but I mean, a lot of the stuff if we went to anything, you'd have in the corner just like boxes, 2 rows, 4 rows, just stuff like, hey, can I look through that? There isn't a lot of that in these new card shops that I feel when you look around and you get the lay of the land, and I'd even say home ec clothes. He might have something like that because he seems to have a lot of stuff just like there. But again, still haven't seen what, because that's where I found a lot of the treasures, a lot of the old stuff that where it was like I know what like an A-Rod when again way back when like 95, 94, 95, going through a couple of 2 rows and found some SPA rods, and again that was like at the time like an $8 to $12 card. It hadn't popped yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to get a couple of those for like $20. Again, they went up. Was able to trade them back to the shop for like 40 or 60 and do well on those. But there's not a lot of that, I don't believe, around today. Which was always the fun of an old card shop, just seeing what the hell was, what's back there. What's back there? What do you got back there? It's
Well,
not a huge stack of, oh, these are my show pickups from Chantilly or Shipshewana or wherever the hell you're going. And it's all these downtowns and fucking kabooms and Magna cards or whatever. It's like, no, you'd have just regular, you'd have a pro line autograph of Glenn Milburn. You're like, oh, man, I haven't seen one of those. Just stuff that was at the time normal, now would be considered odd for seeing something like that in a box behind a card shop. If you went to Ryan's or wherever and you're just like, hey, let me see behind there and there's this shit, you're like, did Dave Archer come down here and just like give you stuff or what? What's going on? So,
Well, it's funny you bring that up because before the old shop that I worked for on and off for all those years, before really the internet was a thing, everything was boxes, packs, showcase, cards, memorabilia, that type of stuff.
mm-hmm.
As far as like singles and inserts and parallels and a lot of that stuff, you didn't see a lot of, unless it was local sports teams.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you'd have your for him, you'd have your Cowboys case, your Rangers, you know, your Stars, your Mavs, that type of stuff. But when he moved to the digital age, what's going on, Mike? He loaded everything on Beckett. And so he had a PC in the shop, and everything that was on Beckett was boxed almost by set in numerical order. Okay. That's when I did a lot of the breaking and organizing and checklisting and stuff for him. But what's interesting is for anybody new coming into the shop and didn't know how stuff worked, you walk in, you have like grab bags for the kids, you've got your Pokemon, you've got, you know, some Magic and some memorabilia type stuff in the same area. Then you start getting into your bigger rookies and autograph cards, that type of stuff. Boxes, packs, and then on the back wall, you had the computer and you had a few more showcases, which were more the local stuff again. And to the left of that, you'd have stacks of 5,000 count boxes. Heritage, Tops Chrome, UD Pros and Prospects for very, like all sorts of shit. Broken, singles, in order, all labeled. And you'd have people walk in and they'd start like looking at in the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no. All my stuff is listed on Beckett. If you're looking for something in particular, pull it up on the computer, throw it in a cart, and print it off, and we'll pull it. One, the fact that it was all in numerical order, he didn't want the shit to get disorganized, which I can understand. because I'd have been pissed off. I put in all that time and put all this shit in order and checklisted it, and then some random person comes in and freaking doesn't put shit back where it belongs.
Mhm.
And then you're going to try and pull an order, and then you can't find something. So I understood the concept and the idea, but at the same time, were these people looking for players? Were they trying to build sets? You didn't know because there was no opportunity to really have a conversation. Or if they come in, hey, do you have any Juan Gonzalez cards?
Yeah.
Well, I have, over 1 million individual cards. I'm sure I do, but look it up.
Yeah.
And it worked for him for a lot of people, but at the same time, like the bulk of his business was boxes and packs in store, and then the singles were all through Beckett.
Hmm.
Because I also, when I worked, I would pull the orders.
Yeah.
And it never, it wasn't uncommon. And mind you, I only worked on Saturday, right?
Hmm.
But it wasn't it wasn't uncommon for me to get there on Saturday, and there's like 17 orders. Now, we're not talking thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars. You got your set builders who are trying to complete sets, and you've got cards that are 5, 6, 7, 12, 15 cents, all the way up to a few bucks. Or you have your player collectors who are like nabbing various shit from, various sets and years. And if I'm being honest, for the most part, the shit was disorganized. Because you'd have all this shit over here, which was the more recent stuff, and then you'd have all this shit in the back behind the counter. And from somebody who I can't say I'm organized, because my cards aren't organized for shit other than the TD collection. I want to be able to pull my orders fast, to where if that's the bulk of my business and I have shit to upload, I can spend more time uploading stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be to Beckett or to eBay or whatever, because, he would also put shit on eBay. Like some of the higher price stuff, of course, he's going to put on eBay because you're going to get more money.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never understood his thought process for the way that he did, because we always talk about Ryan. You look at the value boxes and stuff. From what I can tell, the shit is very well organized. Very well organized. And I'm sure there's probably some rules and regulations that if you're going to be pulling through value boxes, that you do your best to try and keep shit the same way that it was when you brought it off the shelf and looked through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's super organized. Did you guys see their post today? They're rearranging. Rearranging all that stuff.
Yeah, I saw the one
a couple days ago, or end of
what
last
they call
week.
it, the something bar or something.
Yeah,
they posted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that. When did I see that? Yesterday?
Yeah, I think Shannon was in the shop today organizing everything, and they're getting it. It's basically all put together now.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's the thing with him. They're always trying to. I don't want to say expand. I want to say do better. Come up with different things.
Become more efficient
new and exciting. Yes.
Streamline stuff and make it more customer friendly.
Yep.
So,
and the way they have it set up, I mean, they have that open, they call it's the bar. So you're able to pull boxes from below or above and right there.
Mm-hmm.
Because they only have so much room on the tabletops.
Right.
So this just has that much more room for people to go through things.
Well, and I'm sure because with the breaking room that they have,
mm-hmm.
my assumption would be value boxes, that type of stuff. It doesn't leave the area.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Everything. So you can't take it from here and go sit over here in the breaking area and thumb through shit.
No. No, it all stays over there, and everything's partitioned off by the other shelves of things. Everything has its designated area.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Almost like a video store with where they got the retail stuff, where like the blasters and whatnot, and
Oh yeah.
the old go to a Blockbuster and you see the VHS on those things. That's sort of what it looked like again when they go through the walkthrough. Which I like that because again, then it still flows, but at the same time, you're not going to be doing something over here, bring it over. No, it's going to be all like, what are you doing with this over here? This should be over there.
Yeah.
Like what they're doing is working, and they're always finding new ways to, again, to keep it fresh, exciting.
Just the amount of work that goes into their goodies case, the new goodies case that they change out all the time. It's impressive. That's a lot of work.
Well, considering you always like, how many posts do you see sometimes in the same day? Like, what did Tyson buy?
Oh yeah.
So it's, and I know like a lot of it's their repeat customers, and all it's doing is reinvesting. Like when you think about it, they've bought product, they've opened it, now the shop buys it, so the shop wins twice.
It's like the recycling symbol, just those three arrows going around.
Yep. And then, whatever money they get, like, does Ryan do store credit?
I don't know.
Because, like, when you think about it, like, cash is one, store credit is a little bit more because, like,
yeah, that I don't know. They didn't ask me whenever I was selling because I think they knew if they had stuff that I wanted to buy, Ryan would have brought it out to show it to me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely something that we need to ask because, again, I would venture to say if they do both, store credit would probably be 10 to 15% more than cash.
Possibly, yeah.
And that might be what they do for these guys that come in with the breaking and, hey, what do you want this? What do you want this? We'll give you it's going for $250. Maybe we give you $275, $300 in store credit, and
because they're going to make a margin on that, and on the product that you buy or the cards that you buy, they're making a margin on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even though, like, and Ryan said it, the margins on most of their boxes is very slim, considering.
For sure.
Yeah. Which, I know every once in a while I would get a glimpse of an invoice from a distributor. Now, it's in the mid 2000s, like the early 2000s, all the way up to, I don't know, 2000, maybe 2010, give or take. So price comparisons then are nowhere comparative to what they are now. Right. But even then, it's like there were times in which I would, instead of getting paid, because he paid me cash, and a lot of the time I'd turn around and buy shit. Yeah. Because it was, it was extra spending money, right?
Yeah.
And I did the same thing when I did all the breaking of cases and, organizing and checklisting and all that kind of stuff too. There were times in which it's like, hey, like this product is coming out, I want a case, freaking, up it in store credit, but give it to me at cost. Like, it's not hurting you.
No.
And not once did I ever get anything at cost. Ever. And I know that because I knew on average what, like, the products that I would normally buy at a half case or a full case or whatever, I knew what he was paying.
Yeah.
It was a little over cost. It wasn't what he would sell it to like a regular customer or another customer or whatever. So it was still cheaper, but it was never at cost. And no, I'm not saying that I deserve to get it at cost, but like anytime I went into the shop, even when I wasn't working, I was still helping him do shit.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't charge him for that shit. Hey, Steven, I got to run to the post office. Or, hey, can you run this to the post office? Or, hey, I got to run to the bank. Or, shit, I forgot my lunch. I need to run home. Can you watch the store?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. But I never charged him time for that. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, throw me a bone.
It's like, I don't.
Every once in a while, give me some. Again, there's incentive, but give me the sprinkles and cherry on top once in a while. I don't want it every time. I don't expect it every time. But if we went 6 months and I've been doing the things you just said, it's like if I've done that a couple dozen times, come on, man.
Come on. Yep.
Done. Come on, man.
It's and when I paid for stuff, I still didn't like cost wasn't even a thing. It's like, dude, I'm giving you cash. You just got it in. I'm giving you cash. You can immediately pretty much pay the fucking invoice. Like, come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's not that I'm owed it. And I'm going to reiterate, it wasn't owed to me. It's not like I am sitting here saying that I deserved it or I was entitled to it. But again, there was a lot of things I did for him that, again, like I could have charged him time. I didn't. Did I get some perks later on for certain things? Yes. But it wasn't the same because I wasn't buying boxes and cases because he was no longer a brick and mortar shop, so he couldn't get wax. If he wanted product, he could go through like DealerNet, but he wasn't gonna he couldn't get it through distribution. He had to get it like from another shop or somebody else who was listing it. Which of course they're going to pay
more.
more.
Extra person in between that had to get paid.
Correct. Yeah. And his problem was, which I never bothered to ask him, and I'll probably never know because I mean, shit, I think he's like 82 now, 83. Why he always went with the local distributor. I never understood it because he always paid like $8 to $20 more per box, even at the case price, to get it through local distribution. And he had accounts like, Pete. He had an account with Peach State, and he didn't have one with GTS, but there was one other one that I know he had. But almost everything went through the local distributor. And I don't even know if they're still around. So like Hamps was the name of the distributor, and they were local. They were actually like right around the corner from Leaf there for a while. And it's one of those in which, yeah, he could probably get it a little bit quicker because, they're local. But even then, you're cutting into your profits potentially because he would still have to be competitive, and he didn't mark his boxes any higher of a percentage based on who he got it from. Go figure.
I wonder if that might have been the thing. If he needed it, and if they're just down the way, like, okay, I can get it, and I might pay a little more, but at least I'm getting it, and I'm not waiting on it.
And I understood that for some things, especially if...
Again, like if you have an Ichiro rookie in there, that's what you're looking for. You've got like we've talked about before, Mike Anderson stuff when he got hot. I want some contenders. But it's
prime example. He loved breaking Topps Heritage for the short prints.
Yep.
And he always wanted that shit. He always wanted to be one of the first people to have that shit up on Beckett because he was going to make the bulk of his money back on those short prints early on because there's no pricing.
People want them.
And then until Beckett loaded pricing for stuff, you basically set the precedent.
Yeah.
And if he would sell out all the short prints really fast because there is a ton of heritage set collectors, and there still are.
Yep.
He would want more cases. And in order to get more cases quicker, he would go through hams, which again made sense because he could order them one day, they'd be there the next day. And then, of course, hey, Steven, come pick these up. Do you think you can have them done by this weekend? It's like, yeah, sure. I got no fucking plans. Then again, I got really fast at opening shit and sorting it and everything else. But it wasn't uncommon for like 7 to 9 cases of that shit being open.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Oh, tell me about it. I got sick and tired of seeing the same shit all the time.
Yeah. That's brutal, especially a product where basically the short prints are what you're looking for the most part because you rarely get hits.
Yep. They're the real one autographs or whatever the fuck they are.
Yeah, the real one autographs and then the real one autograph red inks.
Yep, and then you had some memorabilia stuff. You had some inserts, but like they're blah.
Yeah, you had the stadium suit pieces or whatever it was for football, and I know some of the baseball too, because it wasn't like back then. Heritage had the jersey cards. It was all whatever Met Stadium or whatever Three Rivers. You had stuff that's no longer in existence, and like Vet Stadium, you had that, which was cool, but it wasn't a one per box thing. These are very few and very far between. You had the blase inserts, which again,
garbage.
Nothing doing. I mean, they didn't sell for shit, and it's just like you're looking for the red backs or the whatever numbering. It was
high numbers.
Yeah,
but and there was never the most amount of cases I ever did at one time was 7. Like he sent me home with 7. And I think later on I did another 5 or some shit. But they never got integrated. It was like, here's the first batch. It's in like 4 or 5 fucking 5,000 count boxes. And here's the next batch and 2 or 3, whatever. And you're having to look through fucking 8 boxes to try and find the few cars that you're trying to pull for an order because the shit never got integrated.
Yeah.
He'd never let me do it. It's like, I've given you the checklist. All you're doing is updating quantities. Can I just like freaking, it's going to take me some time, but can I just start fucking moving this shit over? Because I'm the one pulling the fucking orders. I'm like, dude. And he never let me, since he knew I was a football guy, I only took home baseball to open. I never opened any football product outside of the store for him.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Huh.
It was always he was more of a baseball guy anyways, but I never ever opened anything football for him at home. It was always baseball. A few basketball, but I think did I do a couple? I think I did a case of hockey one year. I don't remember whose rookie year it was. I know it wasn't like Crosby or Ovechkin, any of those guys, but still, I think but every case that I did of football was always done in the store. Always. And I never stole from them. I
see, that would offend me. in the moment. Like, okay, let me get this straight. You're allowing me to open all the baseball stuff at home, but you won't let me open football because you think I'm going to be tempted to steal shit.
It didn't really, if I'm being honest with you, Michael, it really didn't sink in until years later after pretty much like the shop was closed. He was in an office suite and it never clicked until it was like,
you're like, oh, wait a minute.
And I'd sit there and I'd look back because for the longest time, and I probably still have the hard drive too. Yeah, fuck you, Bobby. Where I have all the checklists for any time I did one at home because I'd have to create a new checklist on an Excel spreadsheet based on the set that I was doing. And I had a format and everything else. And before my computer kind of crashed, like the hard drive is fine, but it crashed. But again, hard drive was still good. I can still technically pull any of the documents off of it if I want to. But it was only then when I was going back and when I was doing the boxes for him. And I had the spreadsheet for the boxes that, of course, Neil turned into the website with the prices and everything. And I started looking at all the checklists because the only reason I'd have a checklist is because I opened it at home. Because everything else was on his little fucking things that he had created or whatever. And I'm like, there's no fucking football.
Yeah.
And he didn't open a lot of it either. Which I never understood because a lot more of the football product at the time, rookie autos. Those were big bucks in a lot of sense. But most of the football stuff, he didn't open. It was almost all baseball. And I buy the cases. Heritage, Allen and Ginter. What was the other one? There was one other one that he used to freaking have me do a shit ton of. Now I don't even fucking remember what it is. Not important.
So what is there? Bowman Heritage. There was
no Bowman Heritage. It like
good one was later.
I was trying to think of what it was. It fucking bigger set, but not.
Because it wouldn't have been classic then. That wasn't a massive set.
No. Because Heritage and Ginter were always a given every year. And like by Allen and Ginter was typically 3 to 5 cases. Topps Heritage was all the way up to like 12. Every year. And then there'd be like some other 1 or 2 cases here and there, like Topps Chrome. Because I know I did a couple cases of Topps Chrome. My mind is blank because I know I opened a shit ton of stuff. Like, it's ridiculous the amount of stuff I opened. And I wish I could remember all of it. Because, like, I saw some really cool shit. And if I pulled anything that was, like, significant, like huge, I had to send them a text. And send them a picture being like, hey, FYI, this was just pulled. Oh, that's fantastic. Can you drop that by the shop? Yeah, sure. Of course, he was on the way home, so it's not like it was out of my way. But still, it's like, fucking hell, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything big, he had to be texted. A picture had to be sent. And typically, if it was huge, it had to be dropped off so he could get it listed on eBay like quick, which I get. Like, time is of the essence. Like, I understand the concept. I understand the dynamic. But, like, fuck. This is your business. I have a full-time job. I have a fucking family. Like, I do have a life.
How about you swing by and pick it up?
Well,
Yeah.
Well, hey, how about if you don't trust me, you open this shit, I'll bring it to the shop, so you know what you fucking got.
yeah, it just I was used, but at the same time, like I got taken care of in a lot of sense. I mean, my framed autographed Terrell Davis jersey, that was a gift when he closed down the shop because I helped him move. And at the time, like he had a $650 price tag on it. A lot of that was the custom frame job, not
Right.
the autographed jersey itself.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
gave me a full size Denver helmet. You know, it's he like when I was doing the boxes, I got a decent percentage. Granted, I was splitting it with Ryan,
Yeah.
but that percentage allowed me to complete my 2 patch sets. It allowed me to also purchase some of that said product that was sitting there that I'd always want to open, that I always wanted to open.
Mm-hmm.
So like he didn't have to sell it back to me because I got it at cost. So it doesn't matter. It's not like it's irrelevant now. Like when we did the boxes, it was 10% above the lowest price I could find, not including eBay. That's what we were selling the boxes for. So still pretty damn cheap.
Yeah.
I got it at the lowest price that I could find, not including eBay. So I still got a little bit of a discount.
So I
And
once
didn't
sit
have to
on
pay
by
for
him
shipping.
until you got farted on.
Do what?
I'd say you wouldn't got you because some of the stuff that he pulled again, it's not great, but you didn't get shit on. You got farted on.
Yeah. Or
I
a
mean,
shard,
it's not a
maybe.
pleasant experience at the time, but you're like, okay.
Well, it was at the end of the day, like there was a lot of situations in which I was taken advantage of. And I understand part of the reason because he had people that worked with him over the years that actually stole from him.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
get it. I understand. There's always going to be trust issues.
Put your
But
guard
like
up.
but you know, I was a a longtime customer. My grandmother, my mother spent pretty good amounts of money in there for me. My mom ended up when she started doing Beanie Babies, she spent quite a bit of money in there. So it's like I have no reason to steal from you. None. Because if I want something bad enough, hey, I want to buy it. What can we do?
Yeah. Set up layaway.
You know, and that's how I got my first autograph helmet. I put it on layaway. So, like, again, I understand the reasoning, but fuck.
Yeah.
You trusted me enough to take shit home by the case.
Or Kay says at a time.
I followed your rules. I did everything you wanted me to do. But who's to say that, oh shit, I pulled $1,000 card? What $1,000 card? I mean, let's be real. That, like, I could have done that, but why would I? Like, I'm not that kind of person. That's just not who I am.
Well, that and you're I won't say you're living our dream, but okay, you got a regular job, family, providing good for them yourself. On the weekend, you're fucking working at a card shop and ripping product for the card shop. And you have the ability, as you said, to get, if something came in, it wouldn't be first right of refusal, but I mean, at the same time, you'd basically it'd be like a priority seating if you had like whatever, some sort of insider Ticketmaster deal or something that you know you would have the inside track. So
Oh, I got first dibs on a lot of stuff.
why would you fuck that up? I mean,
Well, it's exactly.
that's and it'd be like if you if it comes to the point where you don't want me and like in the moment you're like, hey man, why am I not opening any football at home? That's my bread and butter. And even if he's like, well, I don't, I'm like, if it's something, if you breach like that to him, be like, hey, if it's something where you don't trust me because of past instances with other employees, I understand that. If you need me to sign some sort of documentation, and again, this is just for you to be like, I want to open football because fuck, I don't give a shit about fucking Barry Zito and goddamn Dan Heron and
Yeah.
Carlos Guillen. I don't need to see their fucking faces ever again in Heritage or whatever. That's like
the nice thing about it is I was looking at the back, so I never paid attention to the front.
Yeah,
but
you see a lot of like, oh fuck, David Segui, he's still alive. What the fuck? God damn.
Yeah, but when you're 20 of the same card over and over, like 21s, 22s, 23s, it's and I will say there were a few times I'd go pick the shit up on like a Wednesday. Hey, do you think you can have that done by Saturday? Nope.
No. Not a chance.
Well, how soon do you think it? How soon do you think you'll have it done? Probably Monday. I'm like, Blake, like, dude.
How would you like to open it? If you want to open it, you could be done by Saturday.
I'm like, put things into perspective. Now, my numbers are probably off considering this was so many years ago. But to open, sort, checklist, sleeve any autos, memorabilia, short prints, any of that type of stuff, I'm going to say 5 cases of Heritage. I would bill him like 12 hours. Think about that.
Yeah, that's not enough.
That's not, but I billed my time. That's how long it took me because I got really quick and really fast and really efficient. But it's like he never bothered to take that into consideration. It's like, okay, motherfucker, here's your 5 cases. You do the shit in the shop and let's see how long it fucking takes you.
Exactly.
Because I can guarantee you, you're not going to get it done as fast as I can.
It goes back to the saying, like with a plumber, I come in and I fix this in 30 minutes and I charge you $750. Like,
what?
I'm paying you $1,500 an hour. I said, no, you're paying me $750 for all my training that would allow me to get it done in 30 minutes. I've been doing this long enough and I have the skills to finish this job in this amount of time.
Yep.
That's what you're paying for.
Mm.
Well, and again, like
efficiency.
Yeah. I was getting paid like $10 an hour for all this, which is nothing.
No.
Considering.
Yeah.
But again, the time, people go, what the hell? It's like, no, that's, again, back then,
yeah,
that wasn't a terrible.
No, absolutely not. And it was cash technically.
And
there was times I took it in trade. Sometimes I took it in trade. I
never showed up on a W-2.
Exactly. And then there were times in which he'd want me to. I'd pull the orders and then, hey, like we need to open. Can you start working on this? And I'd open a case in the shop, and I'd get it done in a day. Less than a day. Because and still waiting on customers here and there when they'd come in. All new orders come in. Freaking I'd have to go pull those. So again, like I got really efficient at that shit. And if I'm being honest, I never felt that it was ever good enough because, hey, how quick do you think you can get this done? Well, dude, I have a young kid at home. I have a life. Like, do you think my world revolves around your shit? And I never said it to him because, like, I didn't spread my wings and try and find other card shops and everything else because, again, like, I knew that at the end of the day, if I wanted something, I could get it cheaper than other people. I'd have first dibs at shit when it would first come in. So I'd have first dibs on pulling a box out of a fresh case type situation. Not that I knew what was where, but again,
Yeah.
like there were perks to all of it. And I guess the kind of sort of one of the perks was I didn't really have to buy sleeves and top loaders really for a bit because I grabbed what I thought I needed and then what was ever left over I used for myself.
Hell yeah.
If you want to call that thievery, then so be it. But at the time,
That's
supplies were really fucking cheap.
I was gonna say that's a fringe benefit back then. For that.
So I enjoyed it. I saw a lot of cool stuff, but at the same time, I guess as you get older, you kind of reflect on some of that shit. And truth be told, when I finally told him, I'm like, I can't do the boxes anymore. He's like, well, what do you mean? He's like, you've been doing fantastic. I'm like, dude, it's my entire fucking weekend packaging and fucking like, you don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, great. You're raking in the money because I'm sending you payments fucking after I ship everything. You're getting paid immediately. But like, you don't understand the amount of time. Yeah, you pull your orders and all that kind of shit. Great. But it's not the same after fucking breaking shit the night before and then having to box all this shit up, sleeve, top load. No. He did come and actually get the shit though. When I was like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
He did actually come to where I was staying and actually like got all the stuff. So I enjoyed it, Mike. That's the thing. Like, as a set builder, there's always that bit of enjoyment. When you're opening multiple cases, the sorting part is kind of the kick in the nuts. But how many times, how many of you in the chat, in here, in this group right here, have ever sat down and opened 7 cases of cards at one time? No. I'm willing to bet you there's not a single person here.
Again, if I'm doing it like for myself, if I'm a big heritage guy, I'm a big tops total, and I want to put together the 900 card set.
That was a kick in the ass. I
like all that stuff.
Too.
If I'm doing that myself, and I can sort at a pace where I'm comfortable with, hey, I can do it this week, and hey, this weekend it's nice. I'm not going to be doing anything. I'll just leave it on the whatever my card table is. But if you've got to do that for a job, for somebody that is trying to maximize profit for their business, yeah, then that's got to be horseshit. Because again, you're just sitting there and you can enjoy a pull, but you can't sit there and sort of like I really let it sink in. Like, man, okay, I just pulled one Henry Aaron auto. That's fucking amazing, and I just want to sit here for 10 minutes and just be like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's
top load.
I
move on.
I held it. Yep.
Boom, 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 and How did you go about opening a box? Was it like Chris Justice the first iteration, or when he got on with stuff, stacking and then just ripping through stuff?
Mhm.
So here's depending on, and it really depended on how many cases that I was actually opening. Hey, Orlando, if it was, because very rarely was it just a single case at a time.
Yeah.
On occasion it would be, but usually it was 2 to 3 on average. So for like 1 to 3, early on, I would do it per box. So I'd pull all the boxes out. I'd open them. Like I'd freaking rip the cellophane off of all of them. So like they're all ready to go. Pull out all the packs and I'd open one box and then sort. And I always started like from 1 to 99, 100 to 199. And I sorted it by hundreds first because it was easier to do that. And then once because I always had a 5,000 count box, so I could sit there and put, 1 through 99 in the first row, and then the third row would be 100 to 190. So like I could just build onto that. As I progressed and got faster, even from a sorting perspective, it wasn't uncommon for me to open fucking 2 cases at a time and then sort. And just like literally fucking just ripping packs and throwing them and just fucking stacking shit. Because the longest part, honestly, was opening the shit. It wasn't the sorting, at least the initial sort. Because since I was doing the initial sort by the hundreds, it was fairly quick. And I had sorting trays. So, like, once this stack got too big, I just moved down to the next row and just kept going. Like, it just, and I had the shit memorized, man. I just, you once you do something so many times, it just becomes secondhand nature. But the only time I didn't do it that way is like when I was in shop and I was opening football, because I actually I wanted to pay attention.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to see it. But outside of that, because baseball, I didn't give a shit about it. It just, you had to go with what was faster because you knew you had, I knew I had to have something done by X day. And I knew roughly how many hours it was going to be. And it's like, okay, if I get this part of it done tonight, that means I don't have to work on it as much tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So there'd be times in which I stay up super late just to get to a certain point, because it's like, okay, I put in 4.5 hours. These 2 cases should take me roughly 8 hours. It's got to be turned in 2 days from now. I can kind of take my time a little bit the next 2 days. So it got to be a juggling act. And it's not like I did it every week either, or every 2 weeks. But there were times in which it was like every time I turned around, it's like, here's fucking, 5 cases of this. It's done in a week. Oh, here's another 3 cases of this. I need that in 4 days. Oh, yeah, by the way, freaking here's another 5 cases of Heritage. I need it. There were times that it was like that, though, too. So dropping off shit. And I'd always email him the checklist, too, so he could actually start fucking uploading stuff before he got the stuff. But he still also got a physical copy of the checklist. So it wasn't uncommon for me to take the boxes, drop them off, and then load my car back up with more cases.
Yeah, if that's the case too, I'm like, if I'm the shop owner, you're getting money, whatever. But I'm like, okay, here's a box of football, whatever it is for your troubles. So I'm like, we hate saying it, we hate hearing it, because I'd be like, I appreciate what the fuck you're doing. Obviously, you're doing something right in a very timely manner, and again, you got your shit going on too. So it's not like, you're just sitting around, fucking around, playing solitaire and Call of Duty or whatever back then. It's like but the Counter-Strike. That's a stupid game I'm trying to think of. On the computer, you're busy with your own life. So this is,
Yep.
I got like another life being thrown in your life. I'd be like, here, every once a month, maybe twice a month, depending on the volume. Like here's a couple football boxes. These are yours. Even if it's the Pacific, like bucket, something just show some sort of appreciation. And again, not every job's gonna have that. Many don't. But at the same time, if you're doing something, then it's not your full time fucking gig.
I got lunch a few times. He would buy lunch from time to time, which was nice. And I would get
Uncrustables or what?
do up.
Uncrustables or what?
No, like there was a
I'd take an Uncrustable
breakfast-
right now.
a breakfast joint.
Partially thawed.
Yeah.
There was a breakfast joint up the road that he really liked, but it wasn't uncommon for us to like he would order it and like I would actually get to leave to go pick it up so I could actually get out of the store for a little bit. After busting my ass for like the first 2.5 hours I was there or some shit. And I had to I can't say I had to beg to have a smoke break, but I felt like I had to beg for a smoke break. It's like, come on, dude.
No
I'm
sympathy.
standing.
No sympathy for me on that one.
I'm aware, but I'm standing all fucking day. Your bitch ass is back there in the back sitting in your chair on the damn computer. Like, give me a break.
Yeah.
And it's not like I did it every 30 minutes or every hour. Like I was cognizant of that because I had rules and regulations at my job at the time where I was working. We had 2 10-minute breaks and then lunch. So like that's the only time you could smoke. Both your 10-minute breaks and then at lunch. That was it. Nothing more. It's not the same as what it was when I went to go work at where I am now, where like if I wanted to go out every 30 minutes, I'd go out every 30 minutes. Or working from home, I could go out whenever I want. So again, I was respectful of that. But at the same time, it's like, dude, it's been 4 hours. Let me go.
Yeah, and back then too, it's not like you had a cell phone sitting there all day and Snapchat and Candy Crush or whatever. You're working.
I was never on my phone.
Well, that's what I mean. It's not like it is now where people are on their phone more often. Again, there's like an overview shot of like a NASCAR race when they're down in the cities. I think it was the one at Talladega for the Busch Series or whatever it is now. And they had 5 people in the row, and they're like talking about like showing up again, attendance at a NASCAR event. Hey, come out to whatever track. 4 of the 5 are looking at their cell phones. I'm like, I don't care if it's a caution. I'm like, you're at a NASCAR event at Talladega. Why are you looking at your cell phone? I don't get this. It's something that's one of the pet peeves that's like, ooh, Jalen Brunson just went down. That doesn't look good. It's on the hot list going up because why do you spend X amount of money to go somewhere to an event and you're on your fucking cell phone? I mean, if I could hit everybody in the back of the head with a baseball bat that I saw do that, I would be so happy because it's so stupid. You're spending hundreds of dollars on tickets, sometimes thousands. You're spending your time, you're spending gas money, whatever the case may be. Why are you not paying attention to the shit you spent the money on? So again, that's deviating that little corner there.
But valid point. Like the only time I would check my phone is if I knew like maybe we were having a family thing that weekend or some shit. So like if my mom sent me a text or Laura sent like, I mean, there was always exceptions because let me tell you, his wife would call that store probably about 10 times a day. What do you want, Barbara? Like, I don't want to talk about his personal shit, but like, he was such an ass to his wife. I know he loved his wife, and I think like shit really changed for him when she got diagnosed with prostate cancer twice, and that's ultimately what she ended up passing away from. But I think it was like she got lonely, so she just wanted to, I guess, talk to him, and like I'm busy, Barbara. I can't talk, and like he fucking hang up on her. It's just like, jeez, man.
Well, I get okay, call a couple times, but yeah, at the same time, like, and again, his busyness is probably not what we consider busy. Probably on par with my boss, who, when he's busy, he's trying to sell a dock to somebody or do something that isn't store related.
Yeah, no, it's.
But at the same time, it's like, find something. I'll give you some money. Build us, or I'll build a garden. Plant the garden. I'll build flower things. Put flowers in it. What do you want to do, or what's a hobby that you'd like to do just to do something?
There wasn't any of that. Like she would literally sit in the fucking chair in front of the TV and smoke like a freight train. But again, not that helps, cancer shit, but like to each their own. Like whatever. But it's still one of those. And she's still like. I think the last time I saw him was what, Christmas. Not Christmas. It was sometime in December of 2020. And that's when I had found out that she had just passed away like the year before. And I'm like, she lived that long? And I'm not trying to be like mean, ugly, rude, disrespectful, but like I knew how bad she was health wise. And it wasn't uncommon for like moments in time to where it was like, okay, well, this is it. And somehow she'd pull through and she'd be back at home. And when you own your own business, it's not like you can fucking like just shut it down. So even when she would be in the hospital and everything else, now like their sons and stuff would like be around here and there. But again, like they have full-time jobs too. But he'd work, and then once he'd close the shop and he'd go spend time at the hospital. So like he was almost burning the candle at both ends for a lot of those times. But it's like,
hi, puppy.
When you,
I know.
When you burn it at both ends, eventually it's going to catch up to you. And looking back on stuff, it's like him being like the age of my mom, my grandparents, that type of stuff. I couldn't very well look at it and be like, dude, fucking be nice to your wife. Come on. She's sick, man. She's bored. Like she has nothing to do. She can't do anything. She's basically like chair ridden. It's like, come on. But I felt like if I opened my mouth, I'd be disrespectful, and then like all hell would break loose, and I just kind of left it alone. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, if I ever talk to my wife like that, I would hope she'd beat the shit out of me. Yep. So, but I digress. I will say this: I would never run my shop the way that he did. That's for damn sure. So
No, I couldn't. Like at a card show, since I put that in the title like an idiot.
I didn't notice it either. I would have corrected it too, Dave. So
As soon as the thing popped up on it, it's like, oh, fuck. I would do what JT does, Triple Crown 24, where he's got his list and he's
he
got
knows what he's got in stuff.
But that way too, because he's got it on his eBay store. Hey, I just sold this card, so I've got to go back and delete the listing so you don't sell something you've already sold or traded away, something that isn't in your inventory. But there again, he doesn't have a volume of like a card collector too. Again, Santiago, RBI Crew, Indie Card Exchange, anybody going there to a bigger show where he's setting up. JT's got what, 3 cases maybe, couple value boxes if he chooses. It's not like he's got 5 tables full of stuff. And again, no knock on JT, but that's how I would do a show. I would not immerse myself where I had constantly rely on like 3 other people because I've got that much stuff set up. The 3 cases, that'd be great. Again, you see stuff in his case if you watch his videos, his card show vlogs, where again, there's stuff that's like $25 in there. I wouldn't always have stuff that's, and again, I wouldn't have high number stuff in there, high dollar at the same time. It's just like you have to have that very mix at a show. You can't assume that everybody's out to be YouTube famous, industry famous, and they've got all the money to spend on some of these massive cards that are comma cards, 4 or 5 figure cards that are ridiculous. You got to have something that appeals to everybody, and you can't always be in a value box, because if that's where it's at, some people don't like looking through those. Again, I love it. Steve loves it. We did it side by side in sweltering heat. Michael, if given the chance, if he sees a few things in a value box, probably will rummage through it just because a few of these cards caught his eye. Like, well, I don't know what's in there. There might be a Ford. There might be a Rogers. There might be some random Packer that you just don't see. Even if it's not something the major, a 5-star, immaculate, impeccable, you're like, you know what? Maybe I'll just spend a couple moments. It might be worth my time. If it's not, I get to see some shit I don't normally look at. Yep. So
I made the mistake of going through Ryan's value boxes one time. That was at the first location. And I ended up going home with like 30 some odd cards. And then I got home with them and I'm like,
why did I buy these?
Yeah, this is just going to take up space. I'm not going to do anything with these. And I threw them in a box. I don't know where that box is now. It's somewhere up in the attic, along with a bunch of other stuff. But it's just because I know that's what would happen. Because there's a lot of stuff out there. Because I see that stuff, and it's awesome. And it's 25 cents, 50 cents, $1, whatever it is. It's still awesome to me.
Well,
I don't have the space for that kind of stuff.
And that in the end, you just don't need it. I mean,
No,
it's something that's cool, but it doesn't. It fits in your collection, but it's not something you want in your collection.
Correct.
It's like you're not the appreciation for the card is there. The desire to own the card isn't.
Yes.
You just used need and want in the most unusual way possible, I think, in that statement, Dave. But I digress.
Well,
correct.
And we'll come back to that question here in a bit. There was something I was shit. First and foremost,
I had them last week. Huh?
I said hello, Vinny.
Hi.
But that. Oh, when you were talking about JT, if I'm not mistaken, JT only has some of his higher valued like showcase cards on eBay.
Okay.
The bulk of most of his is like the lower end stuff. So it's not even his value box stuff. Because I don't think all the stuff that he lists on eBay goes with him to shows.
No,
Because
I
if
can't.
that's the case, he would constantly be having to freaking like, yeah,
He'd be
that would
wasting
be too
more
much.
time deleting and all that other stuff. He'd just be spending more time not making deals.
That's Jeff, by the way.
What's up?
Vinny.
Yep. What's going on? When I bought something from him, I know he took a note and he wrote down what I bought. I don't know if they were on eBay or how it worked, but I know he took a note of what he sold to me when I bought stuff from him.
I think some of that's based on price point though too.
That could be it too.
And again, I could be wrong, but if you really go look at his eBay, a lot of his stuff is a few bucks, and then he's got like a small subsection where it's the 20 30 $40 type stuff, but he's got it priced probably somewhat consistent with what he does at the shows though too.
I saw that it had gotten delivered.
I've been very slow with picking up mail because I just don't care. Like, there's a card I should have picked up today that ended up there yesterday, and I didn't.
Yeah.
But
I like those. That's Kobe's rookie year, right?
Yep.
Antoine, is that Antoine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Michael, that's just sick.
Thank you.
It was like a $6 card, and I'm like, because I've got the Iverson. That is eventually a set I want to do, because that is a set I had so many of the redemptions of and sent them in, and Kobe was one of them way back when. So, and then, of course, Mo Ibrahim. Again, it's like I don't even know what the fuck. There's like alien heads on it. On a score. It must be the Halloween stuff they do. I don't know. Probably spent more than I should on it, but several different cards had sold, and I'm like, this is. And again, two or three Mo Ibrahims out of wild cards sold. And I'm like, why? Whoa. What is the meaning of this? So, to get something different, and I think the only other two was the SPX JJ Hatch.
That's nice. Simple but sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And then this young lady, again, Gianna Neepkins. She played at Utah. She's out at UCLA now. From Duluth.
Okay.
We watched her play in high school at Duluth Marshall. And they've got, right now, one of the top girls basketball recruits in the country for Naomi's year, 28. Chloe Johnson. Remember that name because she's getting offers from pretty much any big program in the country. I know I-1 Kentucky that she's shown on her Instagram has already offered her, so I'm like, no. This isn't like a community college, so I'm like, we watched her, I think, 2 years ago. I'm like an eighth grader that's just like beyond her years, and it's impressive. So trying to tell Naomi this year, you gotta play basketball, if nothing else, for softball conditioning.
Yeah, I played basketball in the 8th grade and freshman year specifically to get into cardio shape for baseball season. I sucked at basketball, didn't really care about the game, but we did a lot of running.
And I told her, I said, you don't have to sit there and like let this dominate your mind like I know softball does.
Mm-hmm.
But in the same sense, do your best out there, be a viable member of the squad. Because again, if she plays, that's the only person in 10th grade that would be playing. And you don't have numbers. You have maybe 9 through 12, probably. God, if you had 8 players, I'd be shocked. And so I said, you'll get mop-up time if you do well. Again, then you can be playing some softball people out there and talk about softball. Just be like, I'm going to strike you out when softball season comes. Just talk shit. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Just do something. 'Cause you can't have another year of not doing anything and the school not getting back to me about, like, at least opening the weight room to get people in there. You get a $50,000 investment, and it's dark 5-6 days a week. So,
Yeah. And let me clarify, I didn't get running during the games. It was all practice. I sucked at the game.
I remember killers, and I still hate them, even hearing them. And if I hear that boom, 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 boom on the the hardwood floors, I'm just like, oh, I know that's killers. I hate them. Because again, a man in my carriage running, it's like Dr. Hibbert flicking Homer's gut and saying, what's like your fat index or body mass index, and whoo, look at that blubber jiggle. Tells his nurse, cancel my 130. Like, that's what it was. I'm like, I do not like running. Again, going back to the knee injury of youth and the broken knee, so didn't help. But yeah, running is, and I don't get people that like to run. I see that all the time, and I'm like, I don't know why you'd want to torture your body with high impact on concrete or asphalt. It's just not. I don't know. Just isn't something for me. But again, I told her, this is something, the rare time I'm going to push for you to do this, because you need to fucking do something. Especially since our winters are so long and shitty, and there's not like a reprieve where you can get outside and do something. Again, we've sort of set up at the college with the AD, and then one of the guys I played sports with, and I've known him forever and a day, and I'm good friends with him. He teaches up there to get in on like Sundays. We can just go on the side where we went before, and she can pitch. And when they get the hitting cage up in February or whatever it is after the basketball season ends, go up there and do stuff then. So got that set up, but yeah, it's like you need to do something. In basketball, it is, because I'm not going to watch you ski. I'm not going to fucking stand outside in the cold. I don't give a shit if you're state champ. That's not going to happen.
You would be in the very front in the blistering cold, Dave. Shut up.
If she did that, I would make sure, and I would hit her with a baseball bat. Like, what are you doing?
But
Well,
you would still be there rooting her on, Dave. Like just,
Torture. Absolute torture.
but you do it, Vinny.
she's gonna play Saturday. We're gonna wrap her cast. Her
Okay.
coach, we told her coach tonight, and he said gonna put her in at forward because at practice tonight she scored 3 goals. Because the sad thing is, since she got hurt, she's been going to the Mad Serbian and conditioning, and he's conditioning the shit out of her.
Oh, I bet.
3 hours a clip. 3 hours on Monday and 2 hours on Thursday. And last night she struck for 20 minutes straight at the keepers that were there, and she was just burying the shit. Just burying it. They would move, and she would realize their timing, and she would slow ball it in. She would see him shift. She would get. I said, that's the scary thing. Now that she's in the mind of the keeper, she owns it when she's a striker because she knows what they would do because it's what she would do, and she gets the advantageous thing that, okay, if I was going to do this, I'd wait to see where the striker goes. A lot of goalies don't do that. They bite. And when you bite, you can take advantage of them. So she's been looking real good. And then she came in the other day and she's like, pulls up her shirt to her stomach. She's like, I said, go away. Go away. She has like an 8-pack.
Yeah, the joys of young and athletic.
Yeah, when I was that young, I wasn't quite a 6-pack, and she's got an 8-pack. I'm like, just the kid's got. I said, here's the deal, kid. Make sure you use it, don't lose it, because if you stop, like I did at like 23, when I graduated school, you get a larger carriage, as Dave would say.
I never had a pack of anything.
I did. I used to lift 3 days a week. I actually had a class where I lifted. So lifted. But yeah.
Yeah, I never had a 6-pack in all the years I played soccer. Even like the
She's
joys
in
of,
ridiculous condition.
I guess even taken after my father at a young age. I don't know.
No. I was good until probably 2005 or 6. And then I gained a bunch of weight because I was working 12 hours a day, 4 days a week. So then I was off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So for 7 years, unless I was training like a class of new recruits. So I got used to that slothy schedule and I paid for it. And then in 2009, I got semi-motivated and got, the resistance band thingies. And I did that. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going for, Bobby. Why settle for the 6-pack when you can have the keg is always one of my favorites. So, elephant in the room, why I've been gone for how long? Maybe I should address that whole thing.
Don't call me the elephant in the room.
Huh?
Don't call me the elephant in
I'm
the room.
not calling you the elephant. I'm calling me the elephant. You're more like a...
Snuffleupagus.
Yeah, with that beard, that kind of is. You are like a snuffleupagus. So, I worked at the same place for 22 years, almost. It would have been 22 years in September. I've done sales, and basically I've been in operations and logistics for the last 5 years, product management. I've done a lot of stuff. A buddy of mine who I worked really well with, he gave me a holler, and I left and went and got a new job. So I've been traveling for that. And while I was there, so 12 years ago, picture it, 12 years ago, back in Sicily, like what's her name from Golden Girls? My brother, we thought he had cancer. And he calls me, and I'm in an airport and somewhere in the Midwest. And he's like, no, it's MS. And he's like, it's just going to kill me slow now. And I was like, you know, it was bad. He had 26 lesions. They had misdiagnosed it for 7 years. And fast forward 12 years later, I was in the same city in a hotel, and my mom calls me, and my brother passed away in his sleep. After fighting it for 12 years, it took down in his throat. He couldn't swallow very well, couldn't breathe very well. And while I was there, I flew home a couple days later and went to PA to handle all that. So that's been a life transition. So good news, I got a new job that I really love and really am making a difference. But I lost my baby brother, which kind of had me in the doldrums, as they say. Billy Bob Thornton puts it the best. He's like, there's a melancholy in me now. I'm 50% sad and 50% happy at all times. But my buddy, thank you. My buddy said it the day he passed. The next morning, he was like, dude, you just ride for two now. And I guess that's because him and my saying was always ride or die. And he was at work. He and I were ride or die. And then in life, my baby brother, we were very close. And now I ride for two. I try to make dreams that he had come true. Like Jeff would say. Jeff,
Foxworthy?
no. Footloose Ottawa, Jeff. Because my brain's
That would
not
be
working
Morris.
yet. Yeah, thank you. You don't chase your goals, you chase your dreams. So I gave up on goals. Goals are, I think, at my age, goals are immaterial. I'm back to dreaming a little bit. Now I got dreams again, and hopefully, even in my old age, I can hit some of those dreams. And now at work, I feel like there was a doldrums for about 2 years. As soon as my buddy left, it kind of just went. So, thank you. I'll go back and read that part for Stu. Sorry about that. I missed it.
Here.
Yeah. A lot of everything that my brother did and I did, all the card stuff. Thank you, Jeff. I do. And I'm telling Cease, don't have goals anymore. Just dream. You want to be whatever you want to be, just dream it. Don't, thanks, Bobby. It's like losing a piece of you. Thank you, Hodges. But I'm just trying to figure out how to live life with him not here. He's in a different place. So I talked to him all day. So that's it.
Now everybody can see why we didn't say anything.
Yeah.
It's one of those in which
I got to kind of just say it and get it out there and let everybody know because.
Well, a part of a part of me wanted to bring up the new job, but
Yeah.
even then, it was like that's your news to share.
Yeah.
I mean, we did say you were traveling for work.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it was kind of left at that. But
Thank you.
at the end of the day, and I told you this through various texts, Vinny. You know, a lot of people were asking about you, hoping that like you were okay, like physically, like something
Yeah.
had, you know, and it was take this for what it's worth. This is going to sound shitty, but it's not meant to. Like, it's very hard to try and express to people without saying saying
Yeah.
something that,
Yeah.
like, again,
I gotcha.
it wasn't our place to say anything.
Agreed.
I know if things would have progressed for you at some point, you may have said, "Hey, feel free to say something."
Yeah. But I had all intentions of coming back and letting everybody know because we've been doing this for how many years now? Love you too, Ed. Young Edward.
Yeah.
And then thank you. And all the bullshit of the hobby didn't really want me to. I didn't want to come back because all the stuff I would watch the episodes and I would see the latest hobby drama, and I'm worried about this mantle and this card, and I'm like, I'm gonna make a statement. These cards are great. I got this card. Look at this. It's beautiful. Look at that. It's I can't see. That's the other part of my thing. Whatever. 2003 SPX number to 50. Gorgeous card. That doesn't mean Ugats to me. It feels. I like it. I love it. It's great. But if I didn't have these people to share, say that again, Dave.
You want some more of it?
Yeah, I'll have 3 copies. But my thing is, if I didn't have these people to share it with, I don't give a shit. I really don't. If you don't have legitimate friends who have texted you over the last since September 9th when this all went down, I don't know what you're worried about, VCP and all this shit about prices of cards and all this crap and all this stuff. It is so bloody immaterial to the world. It's, I mean, and if you think that's important in life, buddy, lose something. Lose something. Because
Yep.
my brother and I collected cards together, and it's probably a reason why I got into it, because it wasn't my bag, but then I fell in love with it, and part of the reason I did this was I always used to send him messages. Every time I got cards and stuff in, I'd send him text. And then the last month, my dad said he wasn't doing good. He wasn't answering my texts, and he didn't want me to see him because he got real bad. And he told my dad, I don't want my brother to see me like this. And I just kept wondering, I'm like, why isn't he answering his text message? It was just weird. But he was in the hospital and he had this last episode and it took him down. And I love collecting cards, but I love collecting. There's my new pen I bought. I got back into collecting pens because I enjoy the shit out of that. I collect my watches and not pen knives and this and that, and trying to thin stuff out and just have what I want. As Michael was saying earlier, you don't want to buy a bunch of shit that you don't need, and really trying to decide what you want. And I'm going through that now. I'm like, because I looked at all my brother's stuff. I went upstairs and I looked in he's been staying in the living room downstairs in a hospital bed. And I went upstairs to his room and it was just to the gills of all his collectibles, all his stuff. And I'm just looking at everything and all the stories behind it and all the times we talked about stuff. I remember when we bought this and when we bought that, and that's all the important shit. It really is. And I think now that I've experienced this, correct. Yeah, yeah, definitely, Mike. That's how what my dad told me. It was very hard for him to see him that way because he went from a 210-pound, 6'1" linebacker size guy who was a woodworker to it ate him alive. It neuromuscular disease, and it just ate him bad. My dad said he was about 140 pounds when he passed. So 70 pounds it sucked off of him. But I'm just trying to learn to live my days and go for it. And like I said, I ride with two and I talk to him all day. And he's my inner he's the answer to my inner dialogue, other than other higher spiritual powers that we don't discuss here, but I will say it. But coming back, every week it was like a new hobby drama, and I'm like, I will implode on somebody because it's just like, do you even realize the lunacy that is coming out of your mouth? Oh, the top 10 cards of this refractor, this refractor hollow foil card from Upper Deck. Upper Deck made refractors?
Yeah.
Ultimately rare.
Yeah. And it's like, just shut up, please. Just shut your pie hole, please. And I didn't want to deal with any of that. And I think people need to reprioritize themselves in this hobby. And maybe you would enjoy it a tad bit more, because I enjoy it a lot more now. Within the last, I've been buying things that I really want. I'm buying things that I need, and I'm enjoying it more than I have in the past. Let's see, 9 years since I got back into it. But something was missing, and what was missing is right here. So it's difficult getting here, like I had mentioned before, because C has practice on Tuesdays till what, 9? And then we talked about going to Wednesdays, but Wednesdays she starts practice at 8. So it's like she goes for an hour conditioning and then she's there from 8 to 9:30, if not 10. So, and then Thursday is 6 to 7 something, and Monday's the same kind of deal. And it's like, where do you fit it in? So I will come fashionably late and call it a day.
Unacceptable.
Take it or leave it. If you don't like it, akabarara.
Unacceptable. That's we can't tolerate that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and a boom shakalaka to you too.
C wanted to come down, but she had to go to bed. She finished her homework. She had a project she was working on, and 6 o'clock. I think she wakes up at 6 every day. So she's still that age where she needs her beauty sleep and needs to. I like her to grow 3 or 4 more inches and be like my height. So when she's in goal, but there's a girl that's going to UAM and Detroit Mercy that she's been training with. So she's training with girls that are 17, 18, and she's 14. And she was last week, she burned a couple past those two. And I'm like, be a sweeper keeper, be able to say, because a lot of colleges now have, Oakland University has 3 keepers on their roster. So if they do a rotation where they play 2 games a week. Instead of C sitting the bench, she could be like, Coach, if you want to save a scholarship, I can strike and I can play defense for you, as opposed to defense. But she's a versatile player, except midfield, because they got to run a lot, and she don't like to run. Up top, you could pace yourself a little bit more, especially if you're a striker. And wings can run, but she can fake it until she makes it if she has to. And defenders, she can handle that. But now that she's in better condition, I'm watching her out there tonight, and she's just smoking past everybody, and she's just holding her own. So she looks in better shape since she broke her wrist than she does before she broke her wrist. So I think it was a
motivator.
It was a gift in
A blessing in
disguise.
disguise.
Yes.
The old blessing.
She and I think Reiko is one way. Okay. Yeah, Oakland and Gabe Balin, he's a midfielder for them. He was C's coach this summer, and that's how we met Reiko. And Reiko has trained MLS goalies, Serbian national team goalies, and I call him the Mad Serbian because he's not like any coach you'll see today. He yells, he screams, he's old school, and I like it. He's not conducive as the how they people can't, if you can't handle it up here getting. But C's been, at first she was like, now she's just like, what's up, coach? And she just rolls with it. So she's getting used to it. And I think that's good, because you never know what kind of coach you're going to get. And he's tough on her. And he just wants her. She's so used to, I mess up, I start again. He's like, from the beginning, he's like, no, pick up where you left off. Yeah. He always tells me, he always sees me, he goes, my countryman. I'm like, what's up? Because Croatia, Serbia. So he always tries to speak to me in Serbian, which I understand maybe every 4th or 5th word, because Croatian's a little bit different in Serbian. So last night I said something to him in Italian, and he picked it up real quick. He's like, oh, I said, well, when your grandfather speaks English, Italian, German, and Croatian, and English is like his English was his 3rd language, and then German was his 4th. It's like your grandfather starts talking to you in 3 different languages, and you just try to pick up and no matter what you do, you shake your head and nod and say, yeah, Pap, yeah, whatever you tell me. Because it's just the way it rolled. But he would speak to people when they were Italian, he'd speak Italian. If he spoke Croatian, he'd be Croatian. But this guy loves me for some reason, and I'm like his new favorite parent. But it's different. It really pushes her to a different level. And then her Romanian footwork coach we were supposed to meet with him Friday, but he decided to go to Miami again. I call him Mr. Worldwide because he's like 23. If you were 23 and you could travel for work with no boss or anything and just end up at an MLS club and they say, hey, train these guys for 3 weeks and we'll pay you X, wouldn't you do it if you're not married or had kids? I'm like, Alex, live that life, brother. Live that life, hustle that money, and do your thing. Because he was in Portugal, he's been to Spain, he was in England, he was training Premier League guys, MLS guys, La Liga guys, La Liga is Spain. And he was in Columbus training with the Crew, the MLS team, and then he's down there with Messi and them. And I mean, good Lord, 23 to be able to do all that. When will you ever be to do that at 47, 48, 49. You're
Win the
not.
lottery.
Yeah. And do something you love like soccer. The kid is phenomenal. He's got ridiculous feet. He moves fast as all get out. And then he posted something on Instagram where they do those shots where they hold up their shirt and another 8-pack guy. I put it in the DM thing to the story. I said, "Put your shirt down. Put your shirt down." I said, "You're embarrassing all us old guys." I used to speak Latin. I used to write Latin better than I spoke it. But
No, that's pig Latin.
yeah. Or what was that one from? What the heck was that show? Big Bang Theory, Abu Dhabi or whatever it is. That reminds me of Pig Latin.
Ukfe uye.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can speak some pig Latin myself.
Yeah, but it's been a ride lately. All getting to this point, and I'm just
day at a
rolling
time.
with it.
Day at a time.
Yeah, it's pretty much what it's been. It's been a day at a time, and so,
Sometimes
like I said,
sometimes I'm sure it's an hour at a time. Like
it's
all of us, anybody who's experienced loss, no matter who it is, from a family perspective, immediate family perspective.
Yeah,
like
this has been like I never thought I would, in all my wildest years, bury my baby brother. I never thought it would occur, and let alone seeing my father have to bury his son, and that was probably the hardest thing I've ever seen my dad have to do. That's why when after the funeral, my dad looked at me and I'm like, "I got the rest." I was like, "Go." And because my dad was even walking up steps, I stood behind my dad, and Meredith was behind my mother, making sure they didn't like get weak and fall backwards, because we had to go up these flight of steps out of the church. It's sort of in a dip, and then there's 3 flights of steps out of it. And I made sure all the other stuff went down for what needed to be done that day, and went back to the house, and just little things that my dad needed done. The TV is not working. This isn't working. And we sat there and did it. And it's try to make ease on him, because like he said, I walk in a room and he ain't there anymore. And it's probably, if I was there, it would be a lot more difficult for me. Being 500 and some miles away, it's probably a little bit easier. But I'll just, like I said, I saw that Billy Bob thing on YouTube probably a year ago, and I watched it, and I'm like, God, I hope I never have to live this. And sure as shit, I had to. And I think it's given me solace. And my spiritual counselor, Jeff Morris, who has helped me tremendously through this. He's him and I talk on a different level of things that do not pertain to the things that are not banned from the show, that we normally don't talk about on the show. So
they're not permitted.
Correct. And that's why I don't go there. But I'll say, as my spiritual advisor, Jeff helps me with those kind of things. And he's as good as a priest in my case. So like I said, it's one day at a time, and it's just good to be back. And I don't know, I'm waiting for the Christmas episode. All the boxes are sitting right here. ComC should have shipped. Well, they should have shipped on the 22nd, but now they said they were going to ship yesterday. Bless you, sir. Bless you. And
of course, in the words of Michael, what was it? The show before last. At this rate, with all the shit I'm buying for myself, Nobody may be getting anything this year. And what
And
did
that's
Dave and I
perfectly
say?
fine.
And what did Dave and I say? Perfect.
And look,
Yeah.
what I showed tonight, that wasn't on the radar.
Yeah.
Well,
That shit
hey,
just is finding me the last few months.
but that's the thing. Like, and we all talk about situations and when things just happen.
Yeah.
You have to take advantage when those things happen, or you may not have the same opportunity in the future.
Yeah.
So
I would.
Especially with the way the hobby is right now.
Yeah.
I may have another shot at it. It's going to be 3 times what I could have got it for 2 months ago.
exactly.
It was what yesterday or the day before, 0506 trilogy, last playing years of Lemieux. Jersey card came up. Never seen it before. I've seen other ones similar, but I'm like, oh, okay. I've never seen that. And then I looked at the price and I'm like, that's friggin' really reasonable. I didn't even make an offer. There was already 7 watchers on it.
Yep.
Boom, done.
Yep.
And
And I'd think twice about it because what would you do? You say you could have, made an offer and saved 10, $12.
Yeah.
Or you could have lost it because somebody else hit it by now.
Yeah,
And then
and
you'd be pissed about that 10, $12.
correct. And the shipping was $4.99. Whoopity doo. And I'm like, but I got a bill from somebody sent me a card through UPS Canada, right? And I got a bill today from UPS for a $10 charge because it was tariff and import fees.
Yeah, duties
Because
and
they
taxes.
didn't go through regular
Canadian Post.
correct. So I got that and I'm like, is this even legit? And I went on UPS site. I'm like, oh yeah, it is. It was $10. So I've cut down. That's the other thing. I've cut down buying from Canada because I don't want to pay a 35% tariff.
Yeah.
I factor all that in when I'm looking at stuff now from Canada because hockey stuff comes from Canada. A lot of my stuff, because usually the exchange rate is 70% and to
Right.
$1, and it's very favorable in that manner. But now you have to add for every $10, it's $3.50. And then some things but usually Bobby with the stuff I get regular post, I just get a PayPal bill for $1.25, $1.35. I've always got that for years. The import fees and all that I paid. That was never a big deal. It was never more than $2 or $3 was at when you bought a higher price card. But now it's I got something the other day and it was I forget what it was, but I ended up paying $3.89 import fee. But it went right through my PayPal. Yeah, exactly. I was talking to Joe about that and Paul. We need ship my cards for Canada to US.
Yeah, but you're never going to get out of the tariff stuff. Like
Yeah.
there's no way out of it.
Yeah, it's
So
unless they start
although great in theory,
yeah.
it's not going to save anything
Yeah.
unless
But there are places in Canada I've seen that they posted cards and it says no import fees on cards. And I'm like, how does that work? Or how no tariffs on cards? And I'm like,
Bobby, we're aware, but at the same time, once it comes across the border, it's a fee that we have to pay. So again, to have something in Canada like a ship my cards to then reroute it to the US, it's going to be the same thing.
It's not the other. Is there any fee, Bobby, for stuff we ship into Canada? Okay, so it's only this way,
duties
not
and
that way.
well, duties and taxes.
Yeah,
And it used to, and there was a thing in there for a little while where it was just on stuff that was $800 and above, and then they did that, and now it's everything.
Yeah, and I never bought anything for $800. I don't think any. Well, one of my cards was in that, and it was a private deal. that I made for my flawless Lemieux 101. The only 101 I own other than a plate. It's my Lemieux. Yeah, it's flawless. I think it is.
It's a
101
diamond.
diamond. Yeah, which is it's gorgeous. And that was a private deal on Instagram, my first and only deal on Instagram. So, well, I bought stuff from Amit, but he showed his cases on Instagram, and then Carlos helped me broker that.
Yeah,
And
but that was almost 5 years ago.
yeah, that was a while ago. They were SPX shadow boxes. So it was,
that's like ancient when you
yeah.
put things into perspective nowadays.
And like I said, now I even Meredith said the number of envelopes coming to the house are fewer and far between, because I really, dare I say it, I don't need 17 copies of a card. It hurts.
Yeah.
But it's like I really don't. And one copy that's graded and one copy that's loose and a copy to go in a set. I'm bueno.
I just saw a card that I actually have dupes of, because I really never had dupes for too many things.
Unless
I
they
would
were gifts.
Yeah, exactly. If they're
Yeah.
gifts, I had that's one thing.
Yep.
But as far as buying them, the only things I ever really bought duplicates of, and it was because at that time, I mean, that stuff was affordable. That was red and gold chromes. I would buy multiple copies of those if the price made sense. Same thing with prism golds.
Wow.
I had multiple prism gold, but one that I have was from 2013 Select, and they're the emeralds numbered out of 15, and you could only get them in the Panini black boxes at one of the shows. I don't remember if it was national or some other thing, but they just came in little cellophane packs, see-through packs, and you got 4 or 5 cards in there, and they're all numbered out of 15. It was the green parallel. Well, I have 2 of those of clay. One hit eBay the other day and sold for $110. I'm like, okay, I don't need 2 of them. I don't know if I need one.
And Bobby, I wonder if that was because it was written on there a gift, because I always wonder what I'm going to get charged. So I got 2 years of stuff for Joe and Paul that I want to send up there. Well, the mail was on strike last time. I don't know if they cleared up the mail strike for Canada, but when I send it up there, if it's marked as a gift, do they charge me anything extra, like HST or provincial sales tax, or how does that work? Printed or manufactured used in the country duty free. Okay, that makes sense. I'm rusty on my PSD, GST, QST, all
Well, yeah,
that stuff. When I was in
'cause-
sales, I was better at it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, taxes are still,
Yeah,
unless you have a broker.
yeah, true. And like
Which-
Bobby said, if you send a big box and whatever value, but it's a gift, maybe that changes the whole thing. Yeah. Like if Paul would send me something from Canada or Joe and send it as a gift, I didn't buy anything. It's no tax. That can make sense, because you're just shipping a box and you're really not a business. Well, Bobby is a business in a way, but well, like I said, at this rate, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. My main thing is getting that ComC shipment. That's the last of everything, and I'm going to try to get everything out before Thanksgiving this time, so we don't run into what we ran into last year. Section 13 or whatever we called it, Steve, and get everything out.
It's not. I don't even remember what we Route 13 or something. Yeah.
So like I was 2 months behind everybody's stuff, and basically one weekend I sat there and I'm like, new job, I got all my finances figured out, and I finished almost everybody. I got the lowest rung I still have, and I got a package tie of yours sitting here. It's right next to the one from Ed because I finally found it again. So
The one that's almost 2 years old now.
yeah, three, but who's counting? Stove thought he had the oldest care package opening ever, which was 6 months. Mine's on years. So eventually I'll open that. I always try to catch C to open it because it's something for her too. And
Yep.
with her schedule, like this summer, I thought I would have time. No, like she was training 4 days a week this summer, and then
So
go
holiday
spend some.
break. So
Yeah,
holiday breaks
holiday
are
break.
coming up
Yep.
because Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, no school. That's probably
Best
going to be
day to
your
do a
better
video, nail appointment day.
time. Okay.
But then I don't have C, so that shoots that one in the tuchus. And look at that. That's that Bobby Burrell. He's a genius.
Allegedly,
Yeah,
Bobby.
allegedly. All allegedly, Bobby. All allegedly. We'll protect our people. But yeah. But like
Take it
my
easy,
new
Mike.
job, I'm happy as a lark. I'm like the day I was there, the first day, I was like the happiest nut this side the nut house. And like then the next day it just went like a neutron bomb popped off in my head. And he's full of G. Yeah, he is. Um, so things are good. I can't complain about my existence, but it's just you're in a different state of being, and I think the best therapy is to come back and shoot the shit with you and look at that Snorlax behind around his shoulder. I love that freaking thing. There was a guy. He's a comic in the United States, but he's from Germany, and he was naming all the names of the Pokemon characters in German, and his name is like Snoozo or Napo or something like that. I thought I sent it to you. I can't remember if I sent it to you or not, Michael.
No, I would remember seeing that.
If I find it again, I'll send it to you. But then he gives this wild name for Pikachu, and you're like, that's kind of. And he's like, no, I'm just shitting with you. It's Pikachu, because it's like all these, like, there's a name for Charizard, and he like, there's evolution of Charizard from 3 different things up, and he gave the name for each, and then he gives this wild name for, and it's kind of interesting for Pikachu, and he's like, I'm just pulling with you. It's really Pikachu. Like everything else has a name, because like it's all it's sort of like the action in he sleeps, so it's like Snoro or Relaxo or something like that in German, but it's not far off. But then the ones for, I guess it's like dragon in German, which I don't know what it is. You think I working for German companies in the past, I would know, but I digress.
On that note, 2 hours. It's beginning to think we wouldn't have lasted.
Yeah,
I showed up,
But
so
you
Vinny,
did. You
Vinny,
carried it tonight.
Yep. Yes. The last part of it, you absolutely did. See?
and I would probably never build a brick and mortar card show or card shop. I would do card shows and eBay, because I don't think
I did fix it, by the way.
what was that? Fix what?
Oh, it still says card show on the top of mine.
Oh.
But on YouTube, it'll say card shop.
On
Okay.
YouTube, it's fixed.
Yeah, because I saw the title and I'm like, I would probably never do one brick and mortar because I wouldn't want my hopes and dreams dashed like Mojo. But I digress.
I've always wanted one,
Yeah.
but it's
Not
I
in
don't
this
like
one.
people. So me
no,
not
it's
liking
not,
customers would make it really difficult to have a business.
not in this current state of the hobby.
Yeah.
If I could have done it 10 years ago and been able to find a way to sustain it all the way up to where we are now, then that's something different. But to try and do
Yeah.
it now although it's healthy, there is still too much in flux where to me, it's too up and down in a lot of sense.
Too volatile.
Exactly. And to me, you would need more money to start one now comparative to, 10 years ago.
Yeah. And looking at our childhood card shops like Cuz's Corner, The Show, Teddy Louie and Cuz TLC cards, that was a good one. Mike, I forget the other guy's name. There was another guy that he was right next to 4-Star Pizza, which was delectable, let me tell you. And that's where I bought my first box of 9091 Upper Deck. Or 9192 Upper Deck. I used to buy packs of 9091 because a box was too expensive at the time. But those are the kind of shops I'd want where it was just ridiculously friendly. It was about the hobby. It was a different time. And now it's, exactly. It's more
Yep.
about the Panegi than it is the hobby. And I can't go in there and say, hey, Michael, what's your favorite player? Clay Matthews. Hey, kid, what's your favorite player? Whatever one brings me the most dollars.
Yep.
If you ever watched a game,
Yep.
not since Wade Boggs played, and even then it's questionable. I'm coming back a little sideways. That's my new attacking strategy. I'm just gonna go like this, a side phalanx, and I'm just gonna
Yeah.
side cut all these goofballs.
Yes, Bobby, but you're the elder statesman here, so we can
Yeah, I mean,
understand that.
we
I
paid
mean,
10 cents for a 1952 top pack. Wow, you're around then. Congrats, Bobby.
you're old as
You saw
fuck.
the American Revolution live. Great. What a story.
Yeah.
Put
Another
on your parchment paper. Whoa, yeah.
At least it ain't stone and chisel.
yeah,
Have a good one, Jeff.
Later,
Another-
Jeff.
Thanks,
another
Jeff.
thing that I would have a really difficult time with is I'm very opinionated on the cards that I like and the ones that I don't. And I would have a really hard time trying to pimp out selling products that I think are complete dog shit.
That would be difficult.
Regardless of how pretty they are. I fucking hate the Leaf stuff that comes out.
Took the words out of my mouth.
I hate Panini baseball. I hate stuff that doesn't have logos and doesn't have photos. It is pure trash to me. So I would have a really hard time selling that to people.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. In today's market, as long as you're price competitive, you don't have to push it. People are going to fucking buy it.
No, you're right, but I would have a hard time wanting to put it on my shelves.
I get that.
And then not telling the people that want to buy it, I'm like, are you stupid?
I get it.
That's where I'm at with it. No, it's just I would hate to have to try to sell or advertise a product I don't actually like.
Yeah.
And you have to do that. You have to sell everything because you have to buy all the bullshit in order to get anything decently nice from them.
Yep. Well, and another thing to take into consideration, it takes years for opportunities for shop owners to actually be able to sustain their business and potentially have a PC.
Correct.
typically, if you're a shop owner, there is no such thing as a collection. Everything that comes in is sellable.
Yep. That's the other thing.
And from that perspective, you have to be at a certain point in your journey to where you have the ability to say, okay, yes, this is coming in here. I'm paying my own money. I'm buying this. It's now mine.
Yeah.
So it's not, you end up paying the shop in that sense.
Yeah.
So, but again, you have to be far enough in your journey for that to even really.
Yeah, Ryan gave me the VIP tour of everything at the shop when I went down there. So I got to see the shelves of all the cool and open wax and everything.
That's something my dad and my brother both said when I got back in the hobby. They because I said, it's a lot different now. There's a lot of money to be had, right? Not the money we talked about, $300-400. There's 3,000-4,000 for one card. And like I said, the Tim Wakefield stack at 30 Tim Wakefields.
Yeah.
$20 a piece or whatever it was. And it's $600. Back then, for a kid, that's a lot of Panegi. But today that kid is like $600. That's one card. And it's not even a good card, a great card. And like my dad and brother said, if it's a hobby, remember, if you monetize your hobby in a way that's not conducive to you to still fund the hobby, that's one thing. But to make it a business, you're changing the parameters of your hobby. Now you made your hobby into a business. And how do you delineate what's your PC? There's that word, delineation, Dave. What's your PC and look, Ryan's done a good job of it. Neil's done it. I'm sure Tyson has, and other people in this hobby. JT with his Cabreras when he collected them. But at what point do you say, okay, now I gotta concentrate, instead of spending money on my PC, I gotta put money into my business.
Yep.
I'm gonna buy this Bedard instead of a Mario. And to me, I'm not there yet. To where I would say, man, that Bedard's a great price, but look at this Lemieux that's up. Shit, I don't have that one. And then you got to say, but for the better good of the business, I buy the Bedard.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he's not as good right now as everybody thought, he's still in that. He's better than Lafreniere that came out, but the it's still out. The cards, his cards have come down drastically.
I'm sure.
And it's sort of like Malkin. Malkin's leading the league, almost leading the league, and tied in league in points, most assists, and nobody knows who Geno Malkin is. He's a surefire Hall of Famer, just like Steven Stamkos. But it's getting those niche collectors who want that stuff to get them. They're not. Everybody wants McDavid and Ovi, and which they didn't at a time, and same thing with Sid. Sid's market's not right high. But when that guy, when you think about it, when Fleury goes here to the Hall of Fame in 4 or 5 years, what's his stuff going to do?
Yeah.
And then people are going to be like, oh, he's a Hall of Famer, and really look at the numbers. Well, he's up there with Waugh and Brodeur and Jacques Plon and
John Casey,
Dryden, and not my dog Dryden, but the goalie Dryden.
8 years ago, I should have been buying Ovechkin patch autos.
Yeah,
because
you could get them cheap.
Pick them up. You could pick up nice ones for $250, $350, and now those same cards that were that price, it's hard to get anything decent of him now for under $1,000.
Yeah, and it's like
shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah,
in 2016, I have a red PMG and a blue PMG in Lemieux. I spent $60 for both of them. Yeah. And those are that's the shit I should have been buying a Mario, but I was buying the stuff from my childhood, and I was getting those things, and I passed on a lot of stuff that I should have grabbed. Like
Yeah,
I could
what was
That's
that,
all of
20
us.
yeah, but
was that,
hindsight's
20
2020.
was that like 2011 to 2013 when they had that Fleer retro stuff for hockey?
Yep, 2012, 13. Yeah,
Yeah. And that stuff is super cool. And at the time, you didn't think much about it because you're like, oh, they're just remaking stuff from, 97, 98, or stuff that didn't even exist in 97, 98
Correct.
for hockey, but it existed for baseball and football and basketball now.
yeah. I have to show. I have some of that stuff. The whole sets from those Fleer and Fleer Ultra EX stuff
Mm-hmm.
that I put together because somebody in this community said it would be difficult to put them all together. So what did I do? I put them all together for under what, and now they're probably worth 10 times what they're worth, for these things. But it's cool to have, and if I have extras, because I was buying lots on Christmas Day, I bought a lot of those EX cards. Nobody was buying on Christmas. I got it for $12.
Nice.
And there's probably $200 worth of cards there. So those are the things I take advantage of. If you go on Christmas, or usually Christmas Day or New Year's Day, Thanksgiving Day, if something's going off because somebody didn't time something right, you might snag something out of the ordinary good. July 4th, where people's out Memorial Day, those holidays.
Arbor Day.
Arbor Day.
Yeah.
All right, Dave. Answer Ed's question real quick, and then we can.
I haven't been to KFC in 2 years, so
I had them last week.
I don't do honey barbecue, so
yeah, that's
Same.
So when Meredith and I were dating back in circa 2009ish, when she'd come to Pennsylvania, we'd go to because there's not much choices in the valley, and we'd go to KFC and get the strips, but we'd ask them to dunk them in honey barbecue, which they used to upcharge for that shit. It wasn't like common. You would get it and you get the side dipping sauces. But we would get I don't know, back then you could get 16 of them in there for a decent price and then get wedges and stuff. But we'd have that for the 3 days she was there, and we'd just grab a couple out of the bucket and make a wrap or whatever. But now we got a 12-piece, two things of wedges, and Cease wanted a mac and cheese. It was $41. $41. While delicious, no. So we partook once. Now maybe the next quarter we'll allocate funds for $41 friggin' dollars. It's
crazy.
It's kind of nuts.
yeah. If I'm going to spend that money, I'm going to Cane's and getting 25 Cane strips for whatever it is. Again, this was how many years ago now? This was like in 21 or 22 when Tristan and I got it, and it came in like the big roasting pan, and I think it was about like a buck 10, so might have been like $27, $28 for 25 Raising Cane's chicken strips. I'm like, I'll do that. That'll last a while, and I don't get tired of those. KFC, again, I love it, but I'm more apt for give me either the sandwich or again the bulk strips. I don't want to sit there and fucking have to think about. I love the chicken. I'd rather get the chicken from KFC. Like
sauceless wings.
Just give me the chicken. I'll take that. Give me the mac and cheese. Give me the mashed potatoes. Give me a biscuit. I'm good. KFC isn't really where I go for, and I don't like honey barbecue. That is not something I ever crave. Ever.
Yeah, that's not my thing.
Yeah, I love honey barbecue. So that is my thing. So
I don't know if it's Stubbs. One of them's like a sugar-free barbecue.
Stubbs makes one that's sugar-free.
I love that because I don't need to have brown sugar in my fucking barbecue sauce. I don't.
Getting
There
hot
we
and spicy.
disagree. Because Sweet Baby Ray's hickory and brown sugar is my favorite.
I like the Vidalia onion, but again, that's not the one. If I'm gonna have it, is gonna be the key. It's usually I just go with. I see Popeyes has like a blackened ranch now. That's available at your local grocer, but I usually get the Chick-fil-A sauce in the bottle. Like that's what I get. If I want something at home, I'm doing that because guess what? I know I fucking love that. So even if it's Cane's and it's sacrilegious and whatever, I'm okay with cross promoting Popeyes, Cane's, and Chick-fil-A, and even
Does it
Dave's Hot
matter?
Chicken. It's going in the same spot. It's coming out the same spot. We're working in unison here.
Wrap us up, Dave.
So, thank you all for joining us, chatting along, making our time here go much quicker, much easier. Always appreciated. Enjoyable conversation per the usual. Good to have Vincenzo back on here and chatting for a good while so we don't have to. That's always nice.
Yeah, because my mouth doesn't stop.
That's all right.
Yep.
Unlike with others, when they didn't want you to talk, we like you talking, we want you talking. So that's quite all right. So until next week and whatever nonsense we have in plan or have in store for you then, Michael, Vincenzo, Steve, Dave, IRP 251 in the books. Remember, collecting cards, it's a wonderful hobby. Talking about the same vintage shit for the last 2 years, go sit in a cactus. Fucking idiots. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.